Hey crafters, it's Leo with Dreaming Tree, and we've got one last Christmas item for you to wrap up Christmas in July. Today, we're brewing up our Jingle Brew gift card ornament. This little to-go cup is the perfect way to give a gift card to the coffee lover in your life. We've added a Jolly Santa to the front, and just to sprinkle in some extra cheer, we've included a handful of festive print-then-cut captions to make each one unique. This one is quick, so it'll be easy to mass produce. Let's get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, super simple one. One pattern of paper is really all you're gonna need. I wanna start off by just building the main focus of the card, which is our little Santa on a snowflake. And it's all gonna get glued to this. Okay, you can see that there's a little bit of a shadow element from the snowflake here, and that's going to fit right on there. So we can go ahead and begin by just simply gluing the snowflake in place, and then we'll layer the rest of the elements. Now the cool thing about this too, now while we didn't include any alternates, this one's specifically for Christmas, I guess you could customize parts of this, especially the Santa if you want. You can remove the Santa and in its place maybe just put a little caption instead. Okay, so we've got a lot of options with this. So you just want to match up the little triangle and the little parts of the snowflake there with the shadow elements. Okay, next we have this little, well, in my case I have a gold foil element, just a circle, and then there's this circle here. There's the letter T on it. Okay, and that letter T just means that well, that's when you're looking at it and it's a T and not an upside down T, that's the correct orientation for the little markers that we've included to help you just make sure that you get the Santa on there correctly. Nice and centered, and so everything looks symmetrical as well. Okay, so when we put this on here, it's going to be important that that T is right side up. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply our glue to the back of, in my case, foil. You might just be cardstock, and that's okay. And we're gluing foil on glitter. Okay, just again make sure that that T is nice and straight. And we're going to give that a little extra time to set since it's going on glitter. Even though glitter seems fairly porous, it's a little strange sometimes. So give it some extra time. And that, when you're doing a foil on glitter like that, it may be a good idea to even just put a little dab of hot glue on there just to make sure that it sticks. Okay. All right, let's build our little Santa here. I have this red piece, and this white piece is going to go on top of the red. So let's get that glued down. You could probably even do this with a child. I think this one's pretty simple. There's a couple tiny little pieces that, you know, depending on their dexterity, they may have some trouble with, but I don't think so. I think they'll be all right. And even if it's not perfect, they'll enjoy themselves. So why not get them involved? Okay, next we're going to take and build Santa's face. We're going to start off with this black layer, and on top of that, we've got this, I think this is like a peach sherbet color. Just throw a few dots on that, glue that right on top of the black layer. And then we have his little mustache that we need to build. And that is a few layers there. Okay, next we're going to put this pink layer on. That's for his nose, and I think he has kind of an open mouth expression. Maybe he's saying, hey, feed me some coffee. Now this doesn't have to be for coffee, obviously. You can put whatever you want on it. And I just thought it was cute to add a little hole at the top so that you can hang this on the tree. A nice little touch. All right, let's get his mustache in place. The mustache is going to go on top of that little pink piece that we just laid down. Okay. And just like that, suddenly he comes to life. There we go. And then you can see here we have a series of little markers, and that's to help you with the positioning of this little piece. There's two on the sides here, and one at the bottom where his little tongue is. So let's get that in place. There's a tiny little circle, and that's the pom-pom for his hat. Make sure you don't lose that. It was funny, what was I working on? One of the Christmas cards we just did, it was the fireplace one, actually, the one that lights up with the little tea light. I lost a tiny little yellow circle, and if you guys are wondering if I ever found it, I did. I actually had a customer call me to ask me if I found it. That's not why that wasn't the main reason that she called, but she asked. I thought that was funny. That was one of the funniest things that have happened in a while. Just nice to know that you guys enjoy the videos and you're paying attention. All right, so yeah, so that's it for Santa, and then this is the little caption. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. I'm going with Santa Bucks. I thought that was cute. It's a cute font. I think there's a couple that are red, a couple that are green. And we'll pop that right on the bottom. There's a little placeholder for it. There we go. Okay. And so really the only thing that's, let me see if this is even on there yet. It's stuck. Cool. All right, so you see the little markers there? Those are going to go right there by his head. Okay, they just kind of go right into those little valleys next to his head. And see, that looks really cute. Okay, let's just get that. I think I put glue on more areas than I needed to, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry. Get that right in place. Beautiful, look at that. Okay, and we'll pop this on, this thing, when we actually have it all fully assembled. I don't want to mess with it just yet because it's not tricky by any means, but there is kind of a method to this to make sure that you get it right. All right, so we've got 2 layers here, okay, and we did that for a little bit of a design accent and also just to kind of thicken it up. Not that it's going to be overly heavy, but when we do put a little bit of string through there, we just want to make sure that it's good and strong. Okay, so we're going to take these 2 white layers and glue them on top of each other. And again, and make sure that the one you're putting on top has this little slit up here. Okay, perfect. And then you can take this, and we're going to glue this on top of the only pattern that we had to pick. I had a few that I tried out. Kind of like this one too. It's not bad. I mean, it could totally work. This is something that you would see at a coffee shop for sure. Just went with something a little more subtle so it didn't take away from Mr. St. Nick over there. So let's get this glued down. And then the only real trick here is when we glue this layer to the back layer is just to make sure that we don't glue it completely shut. We need a little bit of a cavity, so to speak, to make sure that our gift card can slide in and out. Okay, so that's that. And then we have some markers here. And these markers essentially are where you want to not put your glue, okay? So as you can see here, let's just pretend that we've got this thing put together, and you should be able to slide it down about that far. Perfect. Okay, which means that we absolutely can put glue here on the top, right? And then, so we'll put glue here. We'll try to keep the glue along the edge here. You can definitely go pretty heavy down here, and then just a little bit along the edge there. Okay, so let's do that real quick here, and try to get it out to the very edges. Okay, like so, and then the top we can do completely like that. And pop this right on top. And while it's kind of, just make sure that we did it right. Yep, there we go. Okay, line that up. I would just keep it in there just to make sure. Hopefully we don't glue it into the card or into the ornament. Let's make sure it slides out. It does. Cool. All right, so that is it. Okay, make sure that your seams are glued down. If for whatever reason after you put the card in there you've got a little gap on the side, you can always take a scrap piece of paper, throw a little bit of glue on there, and just tuck it in between those 2 layers to kind of help it. We did do a little bit of stitching here, which you're welcome to color in with a little pen if you want. I like it subtle, it's fine. Sometimes when I do that, it's a little too much. Sometimes it's distracting. Maybe with a pencil, it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, so there's that. Card goes in nicely. Just find some, some baker's twine, whatever, to throw in there so that it's ready to be hung on the tree. And then we have a little marker here as well to help you with the placement of this little guy. Okay, and all we need to do here is just apply glue to the green part on the back. You can throw a little bit on the snowflake as well, not a big deal. Especially the one on top, I think, would be a good idea. And just make sure you get it in the right spot. The left and right side of this should be flush with the cup, so it looks kind of seamless and has nice continuation there, just like that. Okay, yeah, definitely find some festive string to put on there, and that is going to do it. Super quick, and this is great for friends, family, coworkers, teachers, whoever you want to give a little gift card to for the holidays. Love it. So that's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And for those of you that, since we released our Christmas cards, joined Creative Fabrica, thank you so much. Many, many, many of you have done that. And hopefully the rest of you will come over and join us on our new journey over at Creative Fabrica. This and anything we create in the future will be exclusively available through their all access membership. So get yours today. And as always, I look forward to crafting with you again.